Hey, Brendan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Got another 2025 rookie mock draft for you here today. Going to be joined by Jason DiRienzo, and we're going to give you a 3-round Superflex rookie mock. I'll be dropping a QB1, a 1 QB league rookie mock in a few days, so keep a lookout for that. You play Dynasty, you play Fantasy, and you're looking for a YouTube channel out there that's going to give you an early look at the 2025, 2026, and even the 2027 draft classes. Hit that subscribe button. This is going to be a fun rookie mock. This is our third one of the season. Let's get to it. Enjoy the show. All right, Jason, I'm excited for this mock draft. We are going to be doing a Superflex PPR tight end premium. You guys watching on YouTube right now, you can see the draft board while you, Jason, welcome back to the channel. This is actually our third mock of the 2025 draft season. You ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, so we do a 3-round on this YouTube channel, and as always, we only do mock drafts with landing spots. And I think I was the one who gave you the first pick last time, Jason. This time around, it is mid. I know it's the first week of
It's only
November.
fair.
Yeah, only fair, only fair. So again, super flex. All right, so you guys, let's get started. Let's get right to the draft here. And this is a super flex, and I'm going to go really fun on the first pick here. And I'm going to go Ashton Genty. Listen, we know in super flex drafts, you typically go after the quarterbacks, but this quarterback class, to me, there is just no clear. I think Warden, Shador, Sanders could be starters, but I'm going to take the most exciting player, really, I think that's going to be drafted in our rookie drafts. I'm going Ashton Genty with a great landing spot with the first pick here, going to Cincinnati. Love the landing spot. As a side note, the landing spots on this pod, on this rookie draft, is from Draft Tech. Made a few minor adjustments, but for the most part, the landing spots I got from Draft Tech, they just came out with a recent 7-round mock draft. So I'm going to take Ashton Genty here with the first pick. You're on the clock, Jason.
Love that pick. I would have taken him as well. And with the second pick, I'm gonna go with the quarterback who is my QB1 right now, and I love the dual threat ability and everything he's doing. And that is going to be Miami quarterback Cameron Ward going to the Saints. Hopefully, Chris Olave is able to come back healthy at some point
Mm-hmm.
next season and look like Chris Olave. I like the weapons that are going to be around him in the scheme. I think Cameron Ward could do well with New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, he is a Heisman front runner right now, having a great season. Like the landing spot, they're going to reboot down there. Just got rid of the coach, so they've got a whole new regime coming in. I like that pick. I would have gone there too. So I'm going to go again after my running back pick with the first pick, with the third pick in the first round. I'm going to go with Shador Sanders. Just did an all 22 film breakdown with Ryan G, one of our big board subscribers, Jason, and I like his ball placement. I know he holds on to the ball a little bit too much. But listen, he's going to the Raiders, and they are also, I assume they're going to have maybe a new coach next year. They're going to reboot. But again, it's a PPR QB. Got to go here early. So with the third pick, I'm going to go with Shador Sanders. He's my QB2 right now in the draft, or in my big board QB room. So I'm going to go with Sanders going to the Las Vegas Raiders.
I like that pick a lot. I mean, Sanders could have a really good opportunity with the Raiders. Where are we at? The fourth pick,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Jalen Milroe to the New York Giants. And as much as it's a little bit questionable with Milroe right now, as far as what we've seen the last couple of weeks, I love him in fantasy with that dual threat ability. The arm strength is there. He's got that quick release that I've talked about on our pod. So I like what he could do here, and I like him connected with Malik Neighbors. That could be a lot of fun. So I got Milroe.
Yeah, you got to love the legs. And it was a tough one for me, when I was taking Sanders Milroe, because, we've been both Milroe supporters. In fact, on the
Yeah.
YouTube channel here, guys, we just dropped our rookie report on him. So go check that out, where we kind of broke down his all 22 film game versus Georgia, and, gave you a good scouting report on him. But listen, man, he gets first round draft capital like he did in this mock. He is going to get playing time. And like you said, the connection with Neighbors and his legs, exciting pick. So I'm on the clock here with the fifth pick in the first round. Do I take a quarterback or a wide receiver here? One has not been. I just can't do it, man. I'm telling you, Marion Hampton from North Carolina is just killing it right now, and he got the landing spot we're all dreaming of. He goes to the Dallas Cowboys. I could just see Hampton in a Cowboys uniform just touting the rock 20 times a game. I just couldn't pull the trigger on a wide receiver and leave Hampton there with that landing spot going to the Cowboys. Love the fit. He's a workhorse 3 down back. Had to take Hampton here with the fifth pick in the draft.
Well, I mean, that's gonna be an easy one. I like that pick a lot. So with the 6th pick in this, mock draft, I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter going to the New England Patriots. Could be immediately the wide receiver 1 just entering the gate. I would say in a IDP league, he's definitely a blue chip because 'cause he's got that versatility on defense just in case anybody wants to ever get pretty, but in terms of this mock, he's a receiver. He can immediately step in, be the wide receiver 1 for Drake May, and I'm all about that all day long.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I mean, he would be who I would have selected if I didn't take Campton. I think he's clearly the most twitchy
There you
route
go.
runner in this class. So
Yeah.
great pick. He's going to get perfect opportunity. Drake May, my QB1 of last year's draft class, I still feel as though he is going to be a high end QB. Great pick there.
Mhm.
Good landing spot with opportunity. I'm going to go to the wide receiver room here too. I'm going to go with the 7th pick in the first round. I'm going with Ted McMillan going to the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to really draft the talent here. Their QB situation is really up in the air right now. But as we've seen with neighbors with a bad quarterback, they can still be productive in fantasy. Got to draft the talent here. T Mac right now, Drake London comp. We're going to be doing his rookie report this week as well. We'll be dropping later in the no, probably next week on the channel here. So T Mac going to the Cleveland Browns with the 7th pick.
Pick. And I'm gonna go with the receiver as well. With the 8th pick, I'm going Luther Burden to the Dallas Cowboys. They have been dying to get someone opposite of CeeDee Lamb for a while now. Burton could be that yards after the catch, dynamite explosion type of receiver that they need. Jalen Tolbert's coming on, but he's not gonna be what
Yeah.
Luther Burden can be in this offense. And I think Burden can be that guy that immediately takes them to a next step in this scheme and makes that offense better immediately.
Yeah, I agree 100%. What a great landing spot there. They need a wide receiver
Yeah.
really bad. So this is where I think
Good.
the
Yeah.
8th pick is kind of where going to be chalky. All these 8th, I think this is the top 8 that are going to come off these rookie drafts as we stand right now in the first week of November. It's obviously going to change. But so, kind of here now is where you got to kind of pivot and take your guys a little bit. I'm going to go with Caleb
Mhm.
Johnson, running back, going to the Chargers here. He gets the draft capital of round 2. Man, going to the Chargers with Harbaugh, we know Harbaugh loves running the ball. I love the landing
Mhm.
spot here. J.K. Dobbins, great, comeback story, but I think he's going to want to get his own bell cow. So I'm taking Johnson here with the great landing spot with the Chargers. I would see him getting immediate production year 1 next year.
With that pick, he'd get 20 snaps or more, or 20 carries or more a game. Great spot. I'm gonna go with Quinshad Junkins with pick 10. He's going to the Raiders, so that'd be a nice little team up with Shadur Sanders there. And there's nothing but opportunity in this backfield right now. They were hoping for Zamir White to come on. That has not happened. They need someone back there. Who better than Quinshad Junkins, who takes 2 programs to the next level in college? He could definitely do that with the Raiders as well.
Yeah, he's going to be a great 3 down guy.
Yeah.
Able to get those passes out of the backfield as well, and they definitely are going to fill a need. That is a great selection here. So I'm going to go to the wide receiver room. My second wide receiver selection. I'm going to go with Trey Harris going to the Washington Commanders. Great landing spot. Trey Harris, a top 5 wide receiver, I believe, for both of us. We just dropped our wide receiver show on the channel here the last couple days. Man, what a great spot to be opposite Scary Terry, playing with Jaden Daniels, who's like the talk of the town right now, until my Philadelphia Eagles, beat them next week and put him kind of back in place a little bit. But you got to love the landing spot with Harris. 2 outside receivers, Jaden Daniels, top, exciting quarterback throwing him the ball. So got to love the spot. Super productive at Ole Miss. It reminds me of Rashee Rice type production he could possibly get at Kansas City.
Yeah, that connection between Daniels and him could be an absolute fantasy gold mine. Love that pick. I'm gonna go with pick 12, Isaiah Bond to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I mean, there's been some injuries here with Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, but Mike Evans is getting on the older side, and injuries are starting to creep up. Godwin, I mean, he's looked great, but injuries have been plaguing him as well. As much as I like Gio McMillan, they're gonna need somebody else. And Isaiah Bond is that field stretcher. He's that great route runner, and he could be an immediate contributor to this Tampa Bay Buccaneer offense. So Isaiah Bond at pick 12 with the last pick in the draft,
Yeah, he
or
is going
first
to
round,
have
I should say.
he's going to have a great opportunity down there, Tampa,
Yeah.
and That's an outstanding selection. So I'm going to take another wide receiver to start off the second round. I'm going to take Emeka Egbuka going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are in need. Roman Wilson has been banged up. He really hasn't emerged this year for Pittsburgh. Obviously, we know about George Pickens, but in the back of my mind, I still feel like he could go off the rails mentally at some point. So Emeka Egbuka here is because we're Steelers. When they draft a wide receiver, we listen. They usually get very productive early in their careers. Love the landing spot at the Steelers. Hopefully, they can solve their quarterback situation. Maybe Russell Wilson is there for 2 or 3 years and is serviceable, but I'm going to again draft the talent, gets first round draft capital. Ibuka going to the Steelers with the first pick in the second round.
I mean, the opportunity is definitely there so that he can make something of that. With the second pick in the second round, I'm going to go Evan Stewart to the Buffalo Bills. And the way they're spreading the ball around, it's been a bit sporadic, whether it's Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakir, but they definitely need another guy that they can just be reliable for Josh Allen. And I think Evan Stewart could be that guy. Not having the best season, but when he comes on and he has those flash games, you see why we got all excited about him. And hopefully he could take that excitement to the next level and be that go-to guy for Josh Allen. So I got Evan Stewart with the second pick in the second round.
Yeah, well, that rounds out round one wide receivers. So all the wide receivers that were drafted round one off the board right now. So my pick, third pick in the second round, I'm going to the running back room. Trevion Henderson going to the Steelers. All right, in round three. Najee Harris. They seem to have. I think he's on a 1 year, his last year of his rookie deal or something like that. But I don't think they re-signed him. So there is an opportunity that move on from Harris, get a cheap running back situation. But Trevion Henderson, explosive back, Ohio State, obviously, but he could have an immediate opportunity. I love the Steelers. They love to run the ball. So I'm going to take him here. He's the first back drafted in round 3 on our mock here today.
Yeah, if Harris moves on, that's gonna be a great selection in this part of the draft. With the fourth pick in the second round, I'm gonna go with Colston Loveland, tight end to the Tennessee Titans. This one was a bit tough, but I want to take advantage of that tight end premium scoring. And Loveland, who's a converted wide receiver, could do a lot of damage in this offense, and he'd be that safety valve for whoever might be at quarterback. But if it's Will Levis, he's gonna be looking to his tight end to get him out of some tough situations, and Loveland can absolutely do that. He's been great at Michigan, and they've been struggling offensively, but he's been a bright spot, and I think he could be a bright spot for the Titans as well.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Good value here in the middle of the second round. And on this mock, it was Carson Beck in round 2. So maybe Carson Beck,
All right,
and Loveland here can, we all know that young
make some music.
quarterbacks
Yeah.
like to go to their tight ends. So it is a tight end premium. And this is where I'm also really struggled with my pick here. Do I take Fannin Jr. or do I take Tyler Warren from Penn State going to my Eagles? I just pulled the trigger with Fannin Jr. going to the Chargers. So I'm going to select him here in the fifth pick in the second round here, going to the Chargers. We know Harbaugh loves usage of tight ends. So, and this
Mhm.
guy is just a special player at Bowling Green. The versatility, the alignment versatility of this guy is just off the charts. He can be used anywhere in the backfield, wide receiver, everywhere. So, love the landing spot. And Fannin Jr. is my third ranked tight end, in the on my tight end big board. So, love the fit here.
Yeah, that fit could be amazing for fantasy as well. I'm gonna go with Alec Ailmanor to the Raiders with pick 6, and I like the size. I mean, I don't think that Stanford is doing him any good. I mean, they're really capping his upside because he is a tremendous player, and that length and catch radius could be really good for Shadur Sanders, who's also going to the Raiders in this mock. That connection could be big, and get him out of some tough situations. Considering I like some of the contortion ability that Alec Ailmanor has on some of those throws when he's going above the rim. So this could be a great pick, and he could immediately be like that Josh Reynolds type in this offense. So I kind of like Ailmanor to the Raiders.
Yeah, that's Shador Sanders is going to need some pass catchers, so I like that fit as well. With the 7th pick in the second round, I'm going to go to the running back room and take Nicholas Singleton going to the Denver Broncos. Assuming here Sean Payton wants to move on from Javonte Williams. Nick Singleton is having somewhat of a rebound year up at Penn State. Of course, I watch all of those games. He's really good out of the backfield. Just last week against Ohio State, he had 3 or 4 receptions for 50, 60 yards. So he's that dual, threat kind of running back. But I like the fit going to Denver. Sean Payton loves running the ball. So if he's selecting him here, he gets round 3 draft capital. No, he got round two draft capital here. So if you figure with that draft capital, he's going to get the ball early and often. So I'm taking Nick Singleton here going to the Denver Broncos.
Nice. Yeah, with the where are we at? With pick
Eight,
8, I'm
eight.
gonna go tight end Tyler Warren to the Philadelphia Eagles. Goddard's getting a little bit on the older side. I can't say Grant Calcaterra could be that guy to step in. Tyler Warren has looked phenomenal at Penn State, and I like the versatility too. Not only is
Mhm.
he a great pass catcher, smooth mover, good route runner, but they're using him as a runner sometimes too. So there's some versatility with him. So the Philadelphia Eagles could definitely get creative, and this is a creative type of offense. So I think Warren would fit perfectly.
I love that fit as well too. Goddard, is so underutilized for my Eagles. It drives me crazy,
Sure.
but love the fit as well. With the ninth pick in the second round, I'm going to take Jalen Royals, wide receiver, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Jalen Royals kind of is just that all around, alignment versatility as well, can win all over the field. And again, Kansas City here is getting round three draft capital, early round three draft capital. She Rice coming knee injury. Worthy's there. Do we know he hasn't really been emerging as that, go-to consistent receiver? So they're picking another receiver here in the third round of the draft. I'm going to listen. I'm going to take a shot with Royals there in the middle of the second.
I've seen some of his highlights sporadically, and he looks pretty good. So he's going to be a fun one for us to dive into during the draft process. Um, with the 10th pick, I'm going to go with Drew Aller going to the Cleveland Browns. And this might be a nice little sneaky pick toward the back of the second round with some value for a quarterback who's got the size, got the versatility as a dual threat quarterback. So in fantasy, I like that. Still coming on, needs some development. So hopefully they don't need to use him right away, but I'll be happy to get the value of a back end second round quarterback that could definitely be a starter at some point in his career. So Drew Aller to the Cleveland Browns. I'm feeling pretty good about this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to follow in your footsteps here again, even though it is this, super flex, these quarterbacks, this is good value at the end of the second round. Quinn
Right.
Ewers going to the Jets, kind of same, both of these players, they may go back to college. I believe they both have eligibility. And a
Yeah.
lot of people on this mock group are maybe looking, what about Garrett Nussmeyer? Wasn't included in this, assuming he goes back to LSU. But again, good value here for both of us, getting quarterbacks, round two draft capital in the draft, getting both of these guys at the end of the second round. So Quinn Ewers might, be behind Rodgers for one more year, would be great. Let him learn how to be a pro a little bit. So I'm going to go with Quinn Ewers. All right, you got the last pick here in the second round with the 12th pick. Who you going with? You're going with one of your
Oh,
boys, I see.
one of my boys. I'm going with USC running back Woody Marks. I am in love with Nick Chubb, man. Always been a fan, but unfortunately, it looks like he's starting to fall off a bit. The injury and the age are just starting to catch up to him, and they're going to be looking for someone to take over. And I absolutely love how Woody Marks has taken over for USC this year. He's been phenomenal as a pass catcher, a runner, a blocker. I think he would fit like a glove in this offense and take right over the duties that Nick Chubb has. So Woody Marks with the last pick in the second round.
That is, yeah, he is your guy, man. He is having a
Mm.
fantastic season. So I'm going to take one of my guys too, having a decent last few weeks. Damian Martinez to kick us off here on the third round, going to the Kansas City Chiefs. And Draft Tech gave him a round 4 grade. And as we know, this is a deep running back class. So again, Kansas City, we always like those players going to that offense, which is always productive for players. I still am a Martinez fan. He just hasn't really emerged
Right.
this year. There's a chance he comes back again for his senior year. But again, in this mock draft, he got the draft capital going to the Chiefs. Pacheco's a nice player. I think Carson Steele's a nice, piece right now, but I just don't believe he's going to be in their long-term plan. So I'm going to go with Martinez going to the Kansas City Chiefs to kick us off on the third round.
That pick could pay dividends, if you just be patient. With the with the second pick in the third round, I'm going to go with Ollie Gordon to the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Jones is there right now, but Aaron Jones is also getting on the older side. He's having a nice year, but that cliff can fall off pretty quickly. And with this Ollie Gordon pick, I'm just hoping for possibly like a Chuba Hubbard type of path where maybe he doesn't do anything in year one, but I'm going to be happy that I drafted him and have him if he does get opportunity, because I could see him really taking off and being a nice fantasy contributor for my team.
Yeah, that's a great landing spot. Great opportunity.
Yeah.
Playing indoors, they love to run the ball up there in Minnesota. So that is a great selection. I'm going to take another quarterback here. It's super flex, middle of the third round, right? This is where you just take your guys, take flyers. This is usually where the talent starts to drop off. So I'm going to take Jackson Dart, who's having a really good season at Ole Miss. Big game this weekend. Going to Seattle. So Geno Smith is there. I believe he's under contract for a couple more years. Great situation for Dart to come in, just kind of marinate on the sideline for a year or two. So, again, here, if you're short in quarterbacks, and it's a good spot to start taking a shot at, you got round 3 draft capital in this draft. So I'm going to take Dart here with the third pick in the third round.
Nice. Yeah, this is a patience round. I think the guys you pick here, you just need to have patience and conviction with your
Hmm.
picks. And I'm gonna have patience and conviction with this next pick, and that's going to be Xavier Restrepo going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars are looking to trade Kirk away, so there's going to be opportunity here. And they did sign Gabe Davis to a 3-year contract, but he's has been a very minimal contributor, and Brian Thomas has just taken off as a rookie. I think Xavier Restrepo could come in and be that slot guy right away and do exactly what they're hoping to get out of Kirk. So this could be a very nice pick in the early third round.
Yeah, the guy has been so productive at Miami. It's
So good.
insane. He's
Yeah.
been so good. I'm going to go with one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft. Okay. And I'm going to go with Jaden Higgins going to the LA Rams, got 4th-round draft capital. Just put a video out on the YouTube channel here breaking down his film against Texas Tech. I like what I see. Kind of reminds me of Trey Harris a little bit, the way he plays on the boundary, but he's got the ability to play in the slot. Bigger receiver, 6'4". Like the fit too at the LA Rams. I know they got Puka Nakua there, but I think other than that, I think there's an opportunity in that offense, and the Shea McVay offense too is always a good one to be a part of. So I'm going to take Jaden Higgins here with the 5th pick in the third round.
I was going to take Higgins with this pick right here, so it's a good thing you got him. I'm going to go with Tay Felton to the Arizona Cardinals with this next pick and insert him right across from Marvin Harrison Jr. I know Michael Wilson, a lot of people like him, but to me, I just see a guy who's a nice contributor where Felton could be that explosive upside type of player that could really do some damage in this offense. So Tay Felton to the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's really a riser in the draft process this year and looks
Yeah.
really good. So I like that fit too. They certainly need wide receivers. All right, I never thought in a million years I'd actually be saying this name in a rookie mock draft. I'm just going to preface that, but I have to tell you, Jason, I just watched his game against Texas A&M, and I'm going to put a
It was
video out
good.
on Mr. Raheem Sanders, running back, going to your beloved Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if I didn't pick him, if you would have picked him. Now you and I have been kind of
I
down on
thought about it.
Sanders, but I'll tell you what, man,
Yeah.
he looked really good.
Yeah,
And
he
we're
looked
gonna
good in that game.
we're gonna talk about him on our future podcast. So I'm gonna take Raheem Sanders here, 7th pick in the third round, going to the Chicago Bears. They just got rid of Herbert, I believe. Swift, I don't know what the long-term plans are with him, but this guy is a big bruising back that would be, I think, really good for your Chicago Bears, really kind of keeping Caleb Williams to, work off play action. So I'm going to take Sanders here, going to the Chicago Bears. He looked pretty good.
Bears love their bigger backs, so that would make total sense with that scheme. With the where are we at? With pick 8, I'm gonna go
8.
with Clemson tight end Jake Brenningstool to the Denver Broncos. And with the Denver Broncos, I'm just looking Bo Nix, with Oregon, he really liked hitting Terrence Ferguson. They use their tight ends. And I think Brenningstool, from what I've seen of how he's helping Cade Klubnik this year, even though the stats don't show it, I like what he's been doing. He could be a really nice contributor in this Denver Broncos
Mhm.
offense. And I think he's a bit underrated as a tight end. So I'm going to take advantage of the scoring that we have at the tight end premium, take Brenningstool here.
Yeah, I like that selection a lot. A good opportunity there. All right, it is a
Yeah.
super flex league. The fall of Carson Beck. Can you believe it? I mean, this is the third mock I think we've done, Jason, for the 2025 draft cycle. And the first
Yeah,
one we did probably had Carson Beck as a top 5 pick. And here we are in the
easily.
third round, almost at the end of the third round, going to the Titans. He gets round 2 draft capital at the top of round 2. So listen, he's not had a great year at Georgia, but maybe he rebounds towards the end of the year here and shows what he looked like better in his 2023 film than the 2024 film that we're watching right now. So he has fallen very hard throughout this draft cycle, but I'm still here at the end of the third round, a super flex league, round 2 draft capital. I'm going to take Beck here. I can't let him fall any longer.
That's phenomenal value. He could pay off at some point. Let's see. I'm gonna go with pick 10, and it's gonna be Ricky White at
Yeah.
UNLV. This kid's an explosive receiver. This is a bit of a projection and a hope and a wish with some patience involved going to the San Francisco 49ers. You know, they did take Ricky Pearsall. They have Brandon Ayuk there, Debo Samuel, Jacob Cowing, who we like as well. So it's a bit tough with the depth chart, but my thing is talent always rises, and I
Yeah.
want to say at some point I think Ricky White would rise, and I like the versatility too. He could
Yeah.
be used on endo rounds. He could be used as a receiver. He's a bit of a mismatch, and I think in this offense he could pay off. He might be a bit frustrating at first, but I think I'll be happy with what I get. Having him on my roster for a few years.
I mean, Ricky White's so explosive. He's been so
Yeah,
productive. I mean, and that'd be a great element for that San Francisco,
I think so too. Yeah.
offense. So I like that selection and landing spot. So my last pick of the draft here with the 11th pick in the third round, I'm going to go Devin Neal going to the Baltimore Ravens. All right, he gets
Mm.
round 5 draft capital here. The Baltimore Ravens, King Henry. I'll bet you they re-sign him for another year, especially if they go deep in the playoffs. Devin Neal could be that guy again. You just kind of wait a little bit for production, but at the NFL right now, they're hitting running backs in the fourth, fifth, sixth round. So,
Sure.
we're seeing it all over the NFL landscape right now. So I'm going to take Devin Neal with a fantastic landing spot going to the Baltimore Ravens.
Man, Devin Neal's been nothing but productive during his collegiate career too, so that could be a nice pick in this spot. I'm gonna go with the last pick, pick 12, and it's gonna be Kyron Lacy to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are pretty popular in this draft.
Hmm.
But yeah, if he comes out, I really like what he's done in it for LSU this season. Him and Garrett Nussmeier have been a nice connection, but Lacy's been very quarterback friendly from what I've seen on comeback routes. He doesn't waste any movement. Like it's pretty quick and snappy, as you like to call it, when he's coming back to the ball. And I think if Carson Beck is going to be the Titans quarterback from this draft, he is going to be happy. He has a receiver who's very quarterback friendly, and I think that could be Kyron Lacy.
Yeah, he's that great possession receiver any quarterback
Yeah.
I think would love to have, especially a young one. So, all right, there you guys got it. That is our third mock draft of the season, 3 rounds. So we're going to be doing mocks like this every few weeks. So hit that subscribe button, help us grow the channel. Jason and I are going to be putting out rookie reports on this channel. We're going to do film breakdowns, all sorts of great content, getting you ready for your 2025 rookie drafts. Thanks for watching.